What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother, Nathaniel Hansen, for the $10 donation via the PayPal. Much respect to him for showing love, once again, to Too Raw for TV. So, one of the players that has been highly sought after right now is Zach Lavine. All right, Zach Lavine of the Chicago Bulls. And as you may know, the Chicago Bulls are, well, they're not as historically awful as, say, the Detroit Pistons and the Washington Wizards. But once again, they're having a typically disappointing season, which has been the norm, except for a few bright spots since the end of the Jordan era. And Zach Lavine is one of these guys that I think his numbers belie his real value. Okay, you know, this is a guy that in any given year can average between 24 to 26 points a game. And you look at the offensive numbers and you think, like for instance, let's look at Zach Lavine's numbers right quick. Let's see something here. So far this season, he's averaging 21 points per game, averaging 4.9 rebounds, 3.4 assists. He's shooting 44.3% from the floor. He's only shooting 33.6% from downtown, but he is an 86.6% free throw shooter. But he's only been credited with a 15.7 PER rating and only has earned 0.9 win shares this year, which is indicative of the type of impact that he normally has. His numbers, all numbers are not created equal. All players are not created equal as far as what they bring to a team. Look, over the past, since 2018, I will admit Zach Lavine has added many aspects to his game. You know what I'm saying? He's added range to his game. He's added a more consistent jumper. He's added, he's expanded his offensive game. You can't deny that. Trying to wait for this thing to update to show me what he's been averaging since 2018. But of course, every time I do a video and I click on it, it doesn't work. But since 2018, he's been averaging over 20 points per game each season. His peak was the bubble year when he averaged 27.4 points per game. For his career, he's averaging 20.5. And okay, here we go. So since 2018, Zach Lavine's been averaging 24.9 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 4.4 assists, but he's only been averaging 0.9 steals. And despite his athleticism, and mind you, this is a guy that is, Zach Lavine is 6'5", 200 pounds, who can play the point guard, small forward, the shooting guard positions, very athletic, obviously, but only averages 0.4 blocks per game. 0.4 blocks. I mean, Larry Bird has had seasons, most seasons averaging more than that. Look, this is my opinion about Zach Lavine. There are certain nights when his shot is falling. You know, there are going to be certain nights during the year where his shot is falling. And in those games, he looks like an all-star. He looks almost like a superstar. But don't let that fool you, because that's not his normal, consistent output. For every 41-point game Zach Lavine has, for the most part, he'll follow up with a 15-point, 5 for 15 effort. But the fact is, as inconsistent as he is on offense, he doesn't give you much else. He's not a robust passer, even though he does average 4.4 assists. He's not a strong rebounder. He's a horrible defender. He doesn't give you much else. And sometimes not just that, not just the fact that he can be inconsistent offensively. It's that he can become inconsistent within a game. He can have a game where in the first half he looks like a superstar. He can score 26 points in the first half. And then he'll finish the game with 35, and you think he had a strong game if you didn't watch it, but then you wonder why he's getting so much criticism. Well, he had 35, but he scored 26 in the first half, and all of a sudden in the second half he fell apart. Defensive pressure, you know, the strain of trying to be the number one guy. You know, another thing about Zach Lavine is that he wants to be the number one guy. He wants to be the number one option. And in my opinion, a lot of it, you know, a lot of the one of the main reasons why he gets such a pass in the media is because he's a Clutch Sports client. And I believe that the media has their tentacles in so many different facets of the game, influence. I mean, LeBron James just himself has so much influence. Then you have to look at the fact that so many key players are signed to Clutch Sports. I believe a lot of individuals in the media are on Clutch's payroll. I'm looking at all these articles that keep showing you of individuals who aren't even from this country, but they're all LeBron James fans, and they're all on these different websites writing all these pro-LeBron articles. And it sounds like somebody has a monopoly or a dictatorship, if I want to use that term, over the coverage. I'm just being honest. Something's not right. But anyway, getting back to my main point. As of the time of me doing this video, I want to share an interesting stat. The Bulls are 5-13 this season with Zach Lavine, as of me recording this video. They're 5-13 with Zach Lavine, but are 5-2 without him. And that shows just how empty and hollow his statistical output really is. In my opinion, to get rid of this guy, you know what I'm saying, put him on some sorry team, a team that he can put big numbers. That's what he wants. He wants to be on a big team. A lot of these guys, Zach Lavine represents everything I don't like about the NBA when it comes to these players today. He wants to be, I think, the ideal situation for him is to be the man on a bad team. I don't think he'll mind. He'll act like he doesn't. He'll act like he doesn't mind, but he'll act like he doesn't want that. But a lot of these guys are content with averaging 27, 28, 29, 30 points a game on bad teams. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, when the media starts criticizing these guys, they'll blame it on the front office. But you went to this franchise that has a long history. You know this franchise has a long history of losing, a long history of being content with, you know, mediocrity. And you chose to sign a long-term contract. Then, you know, you promised to be that game changer. Then ultimately, when you're not that game changer, then you don't want to accept any responsibility. And this is the modern day player, and this is why I don't like these guys. As basketball players, they might be nice guys, some of them, but I don't particularly care for today's game. And by the way, I know I have people out there who sneak diss me and say that some people that have a connection to the past or whatever, they're living in the past and all of this stuff. You know, it has nothing to do with that. As a matter of fact, the older I get, the more I think about the future. Because it's now about me. I think about the future of the NBA. I think about the future of this country. I think about where so many things are going wrong in this country and why me and others are speaking up and speaking out about, you know, we don't like the direction of many things. Sports is just a microcosm of so many different things that are going wrong. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm kind of blathering right now, getting off subject. But anyway, thank you guys for listening.